All right, let's talk about social media marriages versus like actual real marriages. So if you've ever caught yourself scrolling through Instagram thinking, wow, their marriage looks so perfect. Why isn't mine like that? Well, guess what? Social media marriages are not real marriages, right? So today we're going to break down some of the biggest lies that social media is making us think about love and marriage and what actually real healthy marriages look like. So I'm going to give you 5 thoughts on why I believe social media marriages are not your friend. That's today on RelationShots. Hey, welcome to RelationShots. If this is your first time hanging out with us, don't forget to download your free guide to intimacy. You'll see a link in the description area below that's going to walk you through 4 areas of intimacy in your marriage: physical, spiritual, recreational, and emotional, and give you some practical ideas on how you can increase and improve connections starting today. So don't forget to grab that. All right, so let's talk about social media. Listen, we all know social media is not real. We all know social media is fake. Yet a bunch of you still post all those political memes that you think are real without actually doing the research, but that's not the point of this video. It's funny because we realize they're not actually real when it comes to marriage, but in some other areas we think they are real. But anyway, I digress. What I want to talk about is how I believe that social media marriages are not your friend and may not only not be helping you in your relationship, but actually hindering you in your marriage by giving you something or setting the bar in an unrealistic way for you. So let me give you 5 thoughts on how I believe social media is not your friend. Number 1, social media shows the highlight reel, not the actual hard work, right? Social media is like watching the ESPN highlights after your favorite sporting event, where you don't see all the practices, you don't see all the stuff that's going into it. All you see is the finished product that looks just right, and only the finished product that actually works really well, right? They're not going to show you all the times the batter struck out. They're not going to show you all the times the basketball player missed the basket. They're going to show you the winning shot. They're going to show you the great dunk. They're going to show you the amazingness. Well, social media is doing the same thing to you when it comes to marriage. You see this picture perfect couple on Instagram. Guess what? They fight too. Guess what? They have bad days. Guess what? They have messy houses. Guess what? They have moments when they don't even like each other either. The problem is you don't see that part. And the ones that actually do have good marriages that are posting about it, you don't see all the work that they're actually putting in. You don't see the behind the scenes. You don't see the sweat, the blood, the tears, the day in, day out intentionality. You don't see them when they push through issues, when they have conflict that doesn't go well and they come back and repair. You don't see any of that stuff. The reality is that a strong marriage is not about looking good, taking the right shot. It's about showing up for each other day in, day out, even on the hard days when you don't feel like it. So what I need you to do is quit comparing your reality to somebody else's highlight reel, because we all know the phrase, comparison is the thief of, yeah, you got it, joy. So listen, do not compare yourself to somebody else's highlight reel when you're focused on the day in, day out practice of your relationship. That's not a fair assessment to do that. All right, thought number 2 is that PDA online does not equal real connection, right? I know, I see you guys, and it's good to get a picture. I take pictures with my wife when we go out to dinner with friends or whatever. So I get it, we're gonna post that. But listen, just because somebody posts happy anniversary to my best friend, my soulmate, my everything, doesn't mean that they're actually happy, and doesn't mean that that person is actually all the things they say they are, right? I've told you this before if you watch any of my videos, but the people who post the most are also the people in my DMs the most looking for help in their relationship. So next time you see the man crush Monday, woman crush Wednesday, or whatever crush, whatever day people want to make up so they can brag on their spouse, I've seen literally seen people posting stuff like, oh man, God has blessed us with such a king and leader of the home, when 2 weeks ago you were calling me to tell me how they have been unfaithful in the marriage. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, it's like a miraculous turnaround. So listen, do not compare yourself to somebody else's highlight reel, because you don't see all the work that they're actually putting in. You don't see the behind the scenes. You don't see them when they push through issues, when they have conflict that doesn't go well and they come back and repair. You don't see any of that stuff. The reality is that a strong marriage is not about looking good, taking the right shot. It's about showing up for each other day in, day out, even on the hard days when you don't feel like it. So what I need you to do is quit comparing your reality to somebody else's highlight reel, because you don't see all the work that they're actually putting in. You don't see the behind the scenes. You don't see them when they push through issues, when they have conflict that doesn't go well and they come back and repair. You don't see any of that stuff. The reality is that a strong marriage is not about looking good, taking the right shot. It's about showing up for each other day in, day out, even on the hard days when you don't feel like it. So what I need you to do is quit comparing your reality to somebody else's highlight Even the most perfect couples online are often struggling behind closed doors, so don't believe the hype. Just because they're posting great PDI online does not mean that's the reality of their behind the doors. So instead of posting about love, why don't you focus on showing love through small acts of kindness, deep conversations, real-time connection. Listen, love is about actions, not about captions, so don't believe the overhype expressions and posts of PDA. That's probably not what's actually going on behind the scene. Thought number 3 is that social media can actually make you feel like your marriage is not enough. This goes back to the comparison idea, right? You get on there, you're like, why didn't I get a luxury vacation for my anniversary? Why didn't my spouse post this big sappy tribute to me? Why didn't my man get me a Louis purse, right? Over and over and over again. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he got her a car. That's amazing. My husband's never gotten me a car. Yeah, but you wrecked all the cars you had, so he probably shouldn't, right? Listen, social media can make us feel like our love is not big enough, is not romantic enough, is not public enough. The reality is you need to do the real work behind the scenes. Real love is not about grand gestures. It's about the daily moments that nobody's gonna see. A forehead kiss, your inside joke, a cup of coffee made for you, somebody bringing home your favorite dessert unannounced and without being asked. Those are acts of real love. It's the small moments that are much greater than the social media moments that are keeping you stuck. Thought number 4 is that social media can distract you from your own marriage, right? So I don't know if you've ever been there, but you're sitting on couches in the same room, watching the same show, both scrolling on your phones, not connecting or spending any time with each other, or you're laying in the same bed on your social media instead of spending time with each other. Listen, if you're like anybody else, you've probably been with your spouse, but instead of talking, you're both on your phones and you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, right? So listen, social media is not only showing fake marriages and highlight reels and over-the-top PDA expressions, but guess what it's also doing? It's distracting you from your own relationship. Put the phone down and talk. That's why some of you, when you go out to eat, you don't know what to talk about because you're always on your phone. And if you make a rule to put your phones down, then you stare at each other awkwardly, not knowing what to talk about because you're so used to being on your phone. So let me give you a challenge. Try this. Put your phone down for 30 minutes every night and just hang out with each other. No scrolling, no distractions, just real time together. Your marriage needs attention. If you need to unplug the Wi-Fi to get that attention, do what you got to do. And listen, if you do that and you have no idea what to talk about, use AI. Get on ChatGPT and say, give me 10 lighthearted questions for a married couple to facilitate conversation that won't go deep or won't bring up anything that might be tense in the relationship. Boom, you got 10 questions. Ask a few of those and answer them. That will allow you to spend some time together. Thought number 5 on how social media is not your friend in your marriage is that the reality is the best marriages happen offline. Yeah, the strongest marriages I know are not the ones with the most likes. They're not the ones with the most posts, not the ones with the most vacation pictures or the posts of their dinner out and the food they ate and how often they go out. They are the marriages that are built on love, effort, and commitment offline, right? So next time that you see the quote perfect couple on social media, just remember that real love is not filtered, is messy, it's beautiful, but it's messy, and it's built on the quiet moments that do not make it onto social media. So don't buy into the hype. An online marriage that looks good does not necessarily mean it's an offline marriage that's actually working. If you want a real marriage, focus on the offline, not the online. So there's 5 thoughts on how social media is not your friend in your relationship. I'd love to hear which of those resonated with you, which one maybe you bought into the myth and now have realized this is not serving me well. Let me adjust my expectations away from social media marriage expectations to actual real life. It's work, it's a struggle, it's messy, but it's also beautiful real life marriage. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. And until next time, I'll see you right back here on RelationShots.